Hi guys, and welcome to week number 2 of our EP2 class. Here today I'm going to be talking to you about teaching songs, how to teach songs in your English classroom. I hope we have a great time. Let's go! So I'd like to talk a little bit about myself. My name is Claudia Timber and I'll be your professor for this course. As I already mentioned in my previous videos, a little bit more about me. My background is in law. That's what I studied in school. And then during my time in law, I was very unsure of what I wanted to do. And after I graduated and I worked in a law firm for a little while, I decided to move to Korea for 1 year, just as an adventure. And that's when I really fell in love with teaching, especially teaching English. And since then, I've used all of my know-how to teach people how to speak in English, and specifically how to be more confident in and to enjoy the English that they speak. Besides law, I also do a little bit of acting. You'll always find me into music, into singing, which is why I really love teaching this course. And I hope that everything that I share will become useful to you as we go along the way. So have fun in my course. Try new things. All right, today I'm going to be talking to you all about songs, right? Songs are one of my favorite ways to incorporate some fun and just to help my students get into English a little bit more naturally. So I'm going to be talking to you about that. Before that, I wanted to just briefly go over some benefits, some techniques, some background knowledge about songs. Songs or music in general, it improves concentration, improves memory, and I can definitely attest to that, that those things are actually true. When I first came to Korea, I was living in the boonies, in the far outback towns of Korea. And I had a student who I saw every Friday morning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So for 3 hours on Friday, just me and this student, no one else. 3 hours in English. And this particular student had lots of learning difficulties. Well, I was never told that, but that's what I concluded after spending time with her, was that she didn't learn like other students did. She had some learning difficulties. But what always stuck with her was music. Anything we did, songs, I think even stories, but mostly songs, stuck in her head. So much so, she got a hold of my number, and years later she would still call me, she would still remind me of the songs that we sang. So music can really help. And that's not the only student. I also had another student who had learning difficulties. Couldn't spell his name, even in Korean. He really struggled. Or maybe in Korean, the only thing he could write was his name. And I think at the time when I met him, he was in the 2nd grade. Even in the 3rd grade, he had, lots of difficulties. But nobody could beat him at singing. Nobody could beat him when it came to cue the music. He'll be the loudest, the strongest, the most powerful. So music can really help some of your weaker students, or some of your students that don't even learn in the same way as everyone else. It brings a sense of community. It brings you guys closer. I remember anytime we sing, the students for a little bit, they forget all their insecurities and they just, sing, and it feels good, right? Especially if you pick a good song, everybody vibes, right? It brings a whole different sense to the classroom. It motivates learning and helps people absorb material. So those are some really good benefits. Types of techniques to teach music with. For using music in your classroom. You can use music to introduce new themes and new topics. Trust me, most of the topics that you will be teaching in elementary schools, there is a song already made. So whenever you come across a new topic, try and find a song that goes with your topic. Even if it doesn't go word for word with your topic, but if it's around that area, play it, use it. As an icebreaker, I love using songs at the beginning of my class When my students are coming into the classroom, I play it in the background. It's also used as a way to signal to the students that class is about to start, so get ready. So rather than just they come in, as soon as they come in, okay, books out, let's learn, I like to ease them into the classroom by playing some music. Also, I like to play some pop music, but watch the pop music before you play it. I once played Katy Perry Raw, and then as I was playing it, I was like, oh yeah, her cleavage it's not so low for a Western woman, but maybe in Asia it might be a bit like, oh. So I think bear in mind those kinds of things. If you really do like a song but you're unsure about the video, maybe play the lyrics video or some other type of version of it as well, but be sensitive to that. You can use music to change the mood and just uplift your classroom. If you feel like your classroom, maybe it's gloomy outside, it's cold, or it's just a bad day, play some lively music. Or better yet, you use a song to introduce the class topic, play it again, keep playing it, and that information will be stuck in your students' head by the time they leave the classroom. To teach and build vocabulary, it's an easy way to introduce new words and phrases into your classroom, so use it. To review materials, again, at the end of the class, you can sing a song about what you've been learning about. To teach pronunciation and intonation, which is a really important thing. Pronunciation, intonation, it does not come easy to second language learners, especially when your language is completely different, or has such differences with the language that you're learning, with English. And so songs are a way, if you ever notice, when people sing, they can sing with accurate pronunciation and intonation. Whereas when they speak, it's a little bit like hit and miss kind of. But mostly when people sing in English, it doesn't matter what language they have. When they sing, usually they get the pronunciation and intonation right. So you can help your students kind of figure out the rhythm of English through songs as well. Alright, so usually when I teach, I use the hook, book, look, took conclusion method. If you've had me before for EP1, you would know this method by now, or hopefully know this method by now. It is the same method as all the other methods that are out there. It's essentially introduction, pre-teaching, that is teaching of words and expressions, activity, review, and then just the ending, the conclusion of the class. That is what I will be using in this class as well, so please get to know those terminologies. How to teach songs. So this is what the main focus of this this week's lecture is all about. How do you teach songs? Especially if you're not a musical person. So particularly for me, I love songs. You always see me singing. You always see me with a pair of headphones because I love singing. But how do you do that if you are not a good singer, or if you don't even like singing in front of people, or it takes you, to drink a couple of soju shots before you relax and sing? How do you do that? Well, here are some 5 steps. Here are 5 steps that make this process easier. Step 1, choose some words from your song to teach to your students, and these words have to be words that help them understand the content of the song and what the song is talking about. Don't choose too many words because, again, think about how much time you have. You don't want to choose like 10-20 words, because who can sit down and remember 10-20 words in one go, right? So usually I say between 5 and 6, because even as an adult I can't remember that many words, right? My memory is it's crap. So think about your kids. How many words can they take in one go and still fully understand and still fully keep up, stuff like that. So choose some words, I would say 5 or 6 words from your song, and teach it to them. Teach them how to pronounce it, teach the meaning, go through that in depth, right? Introduce that vocabulary. And then step number 2 is prepare some actions and gestures for the song. So prepare some actions and gestures to go with the song. That will help it stick in the student's memory. Step number 3, before I go to step number 3, when you're doing actions and gestures, in Korea, mostly I see people do this. They put their hands on their hips and they go, Incy Bincy Spider climbed up the water spout. But doing this kind of movement, although it's really cute, it's really sweet, but it doesn't really help me to remember what the Incy Bitsy Spider is all about. However, if I use actions like this, the Incy Bitsy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. And out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Now the itsy bitsy spider is dry and clean again. That helps my students to remember what the song is all about. Now, I know that not every single song is that easy to make actions to. For example, pop songs are not as simple as maybe traditional nursery rhymes or, specific English, as a second language song. But you can still find some sort of action that represents maybe the sentence or how the character's feeling, something like that. So good, get your actions and gestures. Now also, I've seen in the past when students give me the song presentation, which by the way you will be doing, they do kind of one of two things. Either they have no actions at all and they just like or they do too much, right? So have a balance. You don't want to not have any actions at all and you don't want to have too much. Have a balance. Have actions and gestures that students can easily follow. And try to give those actions some sort of connection with the meaning of the song or the words, right, that you taught before. So there you go. That's actions and gestures. Step number 3, make picture cards for each lyric. Now, it's not always possible to do that because some songs, like I said, more complicated songs or more abstract songs, it's kind of hard, right? But have some sort of representation, some sort of picture representation of the songs. Remember, in your class, you're going to have students that learn in different ways. Some of us learn by, what we see, by visual images, representations. Some of us are better at what we hear. Some of us learn really well at what we read. Some of us learn really well at what we do. So you want to make sure that you cover each of these people. You want to make sure that, those who love to move learn with the actions and gestures. Those who love to see learn with the picture cards. Those who love to read, make sure that you have the written lyrics for them. And those who love to hear, as they're listening to you sing the song and as they hear the music, they're going to be picking up the song from you. So make sure that you cover each type of learner. So make picture cards for each lyric. And I think the picture cards will be really easy with like short, simple songs, with, more grown up, more complex songs. Use your imagination, right? Use your imagination. Get pictures that represent the song. Number 4 is sing the song a cappella. That means without music. So what does that mean? You have to know the words of the song. You have to be able to sing the song on your own without any help, right? So what I would say is practice. Oh my goodness, practice, practice, practice. As soon as I announce, or even before, from when you watch this video and there is going to be a song presentation, start looking out for songs out there. Start preparing yourself, because there's nothing worse than having teachers who don't know the lyrics of a song and who are there singing like, the incy bincy spider climbed up the water spout, spout, spout. Down came the rain and they're like looking at the lyrics in the computer, or I don't like that. I always encourage students, know your material, know the song lyrics. so I sympathize with you. English is not your first language and you are teaching it to students, and you have to show that you're confident. You have to show that you know your stuff. There is no other way to do that than to practice. Get it early, get a good script going. Practice, 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 right? At least know the song to perfection. If not everything else, know the song very well. Now, what happens if you feel like I don't have a very good singing voice? It doesn't matter. The point is not about having a good singing voice. The point is about being able to lead your students step by step, taking line by line, help them to sing it out. It's not about having a good voice. And actually, sometimes the students enjoy the class and have a more greater time with this step if you don't have a very good voice. It's quite intimidating. If someone has a very good voice, it's intimidating. But if they just have an okay voice or an ordinary voice or a bad voice, it makes you feel a little bit relaxed, right? It makes you feel like, oh, they're bad, I might as well just be myself. So it's okay if you don't have a good singing voice. It's absolutely fine. All you're trying to do is get your students to sing. You're not trying to get them to sing very beautifully, very well. That's not the purpose, right? So sing it, and sing it with confidence. That's another thing that some students, especially when we do the presentations in class, they get up and they're like, the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. That's not gonna work. No, you need energy, you need joy, you need happiness, you need to be able to fake it till you make it. Even if you hate the song, even if this is not what you want to do, you need to look like you're enjoying it. You need to look like you're having a good time, all right? So you need to go up there and be like, the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. You need to look like that, because trust me, all right? Trust me when I say, when we're watching you on the video, energy, facial expressions, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference, right? Now, sometimes you do have to look bored and tired if that is what your lesson is about. But if that's not what your lesson is about, you need to give me something, man. You need to look at the camera. You need to sing, and sing confidently, no matter what your voice is like, all right? So practice. What I would say is practice. And then number 5, the final step, the final thing that you would do is you combine your actions, your words, and the music together, and you sing it out loud. Now, some of the best performances, some of the best big finishes that I've seen are when the teacher, has brought in their guitar or plays the piano, plays some sort of instrument, and help us to sing together. That, I think, that is probably the best. It beats having instrumental music in the background, because just having someone live, it's just a different feeling, right? It's just a different, it feels like we're in a concert, it just tops everything. So if you can do that, if you're able to do that, then I would encourage you to do that. All right, so let's go over the steps one more time. Pre-teach the vocabulary, step 1. Step 2, prepare actions and gestures. Step 3, have a picture card or picture cards for each lyric. Step 4, sing a cappella without any music. Step 5, put everything together and have a big performance. Now, during your big performance, don't be afraid to get the students standing up. Don't be afraid to have them involved in this part. That's the purpose of this part, is that they enjoy it. They get up, they join in with you. Also, I've seen students before, they had actions and gestures, and they wanted the students to stand up during that. So the students stood up from almost step 2 all the way up until step 5. Think about the dynamics of that. The big finish is supposed to be like the finale, the big fun ending, right? So think about when you're gonna get your students up. and when you're going to have them sat down and listening to you and following you as well. It's really important to do that. So that is how you can teach a song, even if you are not musically inclined. Follow these steps and it should work. Now, I wanted to kind of challenge myself a little bit by trying to teach you a song that is out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I love singing, but I don't speak this language, which the song is all about. And so I wanted to learn a song and see if I could teach it and see what I could learn from this experience. So, are you ready? Let's go! ¿Qué clima hace hoy? Sol. Está soleado. Starting again. ¿Qué clima hace hoy? Está soleado. Wow. Está soleado. Sol. Está soleado. ¿Qué clima hace hoy? Está nubes. 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 Está nublado. Está nublado. ¿Qué clima hace hoy? Está ventoso. Viento. Está ventoso. Está ventoso. Sol. Soleado. Nubes. Nublado. Viento. Ventoso. ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? Okay. Okay, one more time. ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? Está soleado. Está soleado. ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? ¿Está nublado? Está nublado. ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? ¿Está ventoso? Está ventoso. Good. So, the first line. ¿Qué clima, qué clima, qué clima hace hoy? Can you say it with me? Good job. Está, what's the first one? Está soleado. Ah, yes, soleado, man. Está nublado. Está nublado. Está ventoso. Ok. Let's put it all together. Actions and gestures with the song. Ready? 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Que clima, se hoy. Que clima se hoy. Está soleado. Está soleado. Que clima se hoy. Que clima se hoy. Está nublado. Está nublado. Que clima se hoy. Que clima se hoy. Está ventoso. Está ventoso. Good job. You did a great job. Guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I really do hope through these sessions you can grow, you can become better at, doing great micro teachings. You're going to be doing micro teachings for the rest of your time at CNUE. 3rd year, 4th year, you're going to have to be doing presentations. You're going to be sick of it. And so I really want to be able to help you, give you some tricks, tips, and teach you some skills on how to get better at presenting micro lessons or presenting demonstration lessons, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.